The pairing of Jackie Chan and John Cena sounds like a match made in heaven. But is it? We're going to find out in this here, my review for their new movie, Hidden Strike. So let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to my review for the movie Hidden Strike, otherwise known as Project Extraction in some territories. This is a new movie that comes at us directed by Scott Woo, who is the director of 2004's Need for Speed and the upcoming Expendables 4. The movie is written by Arash Amel. The film runs for 1 hour and 42 minutes. It stars Jackie Chan as Lao Feng, John Cena as Chris Van Horn, and Pilal Asbach as Owen Paddock. I've probably butchered his name there. Now, Pilal Asbach is an actor who you would have previously seen in Game of Thrones for a bit, and he was in Sylvester Stallone's film from about a year ago, Samaritan. He was the bad guy in that. And he was quite good in that, actually. And he's the bad guy here. Now, this film is set within the Middle East. It's set in a kind of fictitious version of the Middle East, I would say, that's more akin, that pictures it more akin to Mad Max. You've got Jackie Chan, who's got to escort these individuals, these civilians, down Baghdad's highway of death to a green zone where it's safe for them. There's about 10 busloads of people. On the way, they get hit on by a convoy of cars that want to kidnap a professor and her son from one of the buses. The bus is marked up for them. They know which one he's on. And John Cena's character, Chris Van Horn, is part of this group of individuals. Earlier in the film, he's been drawn into them because he needs to get money to get water for this little village that he kind of cares for and looks after. He doesn't know what he's actually there for. He was lied to by his brother and by the bad guy, and he just wants his money. He leaves them to it. He doesn't get his money. His brother gets killed, so he ends up going after the bad guy that's killed his brother, but at the same time joining forces with Jackie Chan to go and rescue the scientist, because there's basically this big heist going on involving oil and this oil refinery and all this sort of stuff. But like I said, it plays out like a Mad Max-esque kind of escapade, all on the road, all in the desert. But does it work? That's the question. And unfortunately, the answer is no. No, it doesn't. Now, this is very much the type of film that you could watch as background noise. There's enough going on to keep you entertained if you're on your phone, if it's just on. But it's not as engaging as what it wants to be. The trailer really does make it out to be something more than what it actually is. The film looks incredibly fake. I mean, this had an $80 million budget, quite a big budget, but it just looks so fake. 90% of the film looks like it was filmed on the kind of screens that they use on The Mandalorian, that new technology. Just not as good. It all feels like it is filmed fake in front of a screen. The special effects are pretty horrendous. They don't look, like I said, it's just this unnatural feel to everything in the movie. The film also doesn't know at times whether it wants to be comedic or not. Now, the pairing of John Cena and Jackie Chan should be a match made in heaven. These are both fantastic actors. I don't want to say word actors, but they're two fantastic stars in their own right that have great comedic time in between them. But the pairing of them just doesn't work. They don't play off of each other as you would expect them to. They're not they're just not in tune with one another, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a flawed film. At 1 hour and 42 minutes, it could have done with probably being somewhat shorter, maybe by about 15 minutes, chop it down to about the hour and a half mark. Again, it's got some massive action set pieces with these desert chases, a sandstorm, explosions, all this sort of thing. A lot of gunfighting. Jackie Chan doing what he does in some of this. Obviously, he's getting older, so it ain't as much as him jumping around and this sort of thing. But there's a little bit of it. There's a little bit of it done on wires. I mean, two of the characters are literally on wires when they're doing it. It's the scene and where they are. Well, like I said, it tries to play up the comedy in certain scenes, which falls flat. The two characters just don't come off well together, and the film looks horrendously fake. Horrendously fake. There's a good time to be had in it if you want just some mindless, generic, throwaway sort of a movie. But seriously, this is not the sort of film that even deserves a theatrical release, I'll be honest. It's something that should go straight to streaming, or even something that should go straight to DVD. It's not good. It's not good at all, which is such a shame considering some of the talent involved in the movie. Even Bilal Asbak, he's not as menacing as what he has been in some of his previous roles I've seen him in. I mean, I thought he was the best thing about Samaritan, and he was very good in Game of Thrones when he was in that. But here he just comes off as flat and derivative, much like these other characters, and you get no real character growth with them or anything like this. Their backstories are pretty weak. It's just a very Mad Max wannabe-esque kind of a movie that wholly fails, unfortunately. There we go. That's me. That's my thoughts on this film here. If you get round to seeing it, be at your own peril.